big feelings and big emotions and life of passion in some way.
Yeah.
And I guess that at that time in your life, like, you just are yearning for something that I don't know, gives you a place to put these crazy feelings that you're going through, and these big emotions that you're having.
I remember someone gave me a book when I was going through a really hard time, and they were like, and another friend was like, why? It was a poetry book, and it was very dark poetry.
Yeah.
And she was like, why? The other friend was like, why have you given her this book? She's in a horrible place. Why have you given her to make, what's it going to make her feel worse? And this friend was like, no, I actually thought it would give her words to the feelings that she's got and she's having. And it's almost like, because I wonder now if, I don't know.
It's kind of cathartic, isn't it? You sort of like, you put your feelings into these characters, and you sort of live vicariously through them on the pages, and you kind of go through all these feelings and all of the anger and the love and the I don't know, all of those things, and it just gives you a place to put it. I know. Now it's weird. Why did I go back to my teenage years? I mean, I read all the time. Why that?
I know, and I wonder if it's taught now. Like, I wonder if people, like teenagers now.
Well, because when you think about Heathcliff now, he's like sort of violent and abusive.
Yeah, well, he always was, and that.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. But I think when you think about it now, as me, now,
yeah.
Like when I was reading it, I don't think I looked at it in those terms. You know what I mean? I was just
not
like,
at
wow,
all.
he's so passionate.
But it makes me wonder, because she wrote it in that time where it probably would have been so inappropriate to speak about a man. Like, that would be quite a secret thing that would go on.
It was received really badly in the beginning.
Had she died?
It came out. I think no, she hadn't died. I think she died soon after it came out, because I know she kept a couple of reviews of the book in her writing desk.
No way.
And I don't think they were particularly good. I think the reviews were just, how could somebody sort of write about someone who's so debased and and even apparently Charlotte, because I read this somewhere, I remember reading it, her sister wrote the foreword to like one of the editions, so it wasn't the first edition, but maybe it's like the second edition after Emily had died, and apparently she even wrote something like, whether or not it's a good idea to have unleashed a fiend like this upon these pages, you know, I for one don't think so. Something like
like a defense almost.
Well, saying that she shouldn't have written about someone like this. What happened initially was, I think Charlotte had written Jane Eyre, and it was published and it was successful, and Emily had sent in her manuscript before, I think, Jane Eyre, and had never, the publisher, I can't remember who it was or whatever, and maybe it was under this other name, but they hadn't looked at it. And then with the success of Jane Eyre, they were like, oh, we have this other manuscript here. And then apparently they published it then. Okay.
Yeah, because I wondered if it had anything to do with, for some reason I thought...
You could be right.
If it was a guy and it was therefore accepted and taken out and published and whatever else, but not received well. And I was wondering at what point it was discovered that it was a woman that had written the whole thing. Because, I mean, Jane Eyre, something like all of the sisters, Jane Eyre's dark as hell as well.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, I don't know, you know, it's no picnic, and it's quite a lot about being trapped.
It's a horrible time to be
I'm like, what was going on in that Bronte household? They're all just sitting there in their own little corners, scribbling these, like, really depressing, dark...
to write.
And then he died.
And then I died. Okay, well, that brings us on quite well, then, to the album.
Yeah.
And the album, when I started listening to it, and I didn't know her.
She was in another band, and then this was her solo album that she did.
Okay, so when I listened to the songs, I was like, oh my God, it's so Caitriona Balfe. I actually did. I was like,
why?
I don't know.
Why did you say that?
So say who it is.
So it's Kristen Hirsch, and it's Hips and Makers. There's a line in and I obviously I'm shit for this. I never know the names of any of the songs.
Okay, I just listen. Wait, I can get it up. I can get up the album because I was just listening to it. Hold on.
But the line is, "This hairdo's truly evil. I'm not sure it's mine."
This hairdo's truly evil.
Okay, so this is totally in reference to my...
What did you do to your hair?
So, oh my God, it's been such a battle. I've been told by people...
By the way, it looks really, really good right now.
Thank you. Oh my God, why did I do it? So this is actually in references to... This is not about me, by the way, this podcast. However, we'll tell the story.
But it's so much fun.
But it's great. So I thought it'd be really funny. On Outlander, I've got to have long blonde hair, and when I got the part, that was sort of a thing where they really liked the fact that I had long blonde hair. And Marcelly, my character in the books, is described as having like luscious locks or something.
Which Lauren does.
Thank you.
FYI, listeners.
Naturally do, thank you. I've just had my French cut.
It looks great.
Thank you. And I've always been told I've had great hair. I haven't done anything to try and do that. And so I thought it'd be really good because for, what has it been, 2 years, having the same hairstyle, I cut a fringe a while ago, which was a good decision. And then just before filming this season, which is season 5...
you thought you'd switch it up a bit.
What was it, a month before? I dyed it blue. And I literally have my friend Jess sit in my living room, and she got foils out.
Oh my God, you foiled it.
Yeah, I don't know
well.
why we did that. Like, I don't think that's what you're meant to do.
So it wasn't even like just a blue rinse. It was like a proper...
Oh, it was like highlights. Like she had on marigolds. We sat in the mirror in my living room, and she like pulled streaks of hair and foiled the blue bottled dye into my hair. And the two of us were like, this is hilarious. This will be great. You'll look so rocking. And then...
when did it wash out?
It didn't. So I got to set and walked into hair and makeup, and they were like, literally I walked in, they went, fuck. And I was like, it's fine. It washes out in 6 to 20 washes. And I was like, even if it's 30, it's fine. And it never washed out. And so at the beginning of this season, I'd negotiated quite well with costume to not wear too many bonnets because I hate the bonnets. And
then you ended up wearing bonnets for the entire season.
The entire season. So every bonnet you see, it's because there's blue hair underneath. So well, how did we get onto hair? But
because there's an amazing line from that.
Oh,
from that album.
yeah. Well, that was also the battle of my hair in the show. I'm always criticising it, but actually... it was my own fault this time, which I can't believe I'm admitting to you. But so when did you first hear the album? What age do you think you were?
Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. I don't know why I've gone to this like time in my life. And I just, yeah.
It's quite cool though. Like it's
I
like
heard it when I was 16.
16?
Yeah.
When did it come out? Do you know?
I think it came out, actually I do know because I looked it up, in 94. Ooh. So I heard it in like 96. I was 2 years behind the curve.
But like getting quite cool and like getting quite into it.
Yeah. And I think, it's so random. I think the person who turned me on to it is a girl called Caroline Burke. And I bumped into her in the airport about a month ago. And maybe that's why I've been thinking about it again recently. But...
was she a friend from Ireland?
She was a girl I met in a summer acting school.
We've all done it.
I think it was like one of these stagecoach things or something. It was like a week-long like summer camp.
I used to do them.
Camp.
I did them every summer.
Oh my God, the best fun.
Yeah, it was amazing.
The best fun. Yeah. And she was this really cool girl who is the same age as me, but she was like so cool.
Yeah.
Like she had all the cool music. She didn't quite have blue hair, but I think we were all in Doc Martens. I mean, this is also the 90s. And this was one of the albums. She was also, I think, like, who else? Like Husker Du and like, just all of these like cool, grungy things she introduced me to. But this one album is one that I played to death.
No way. So you know the fact that you know a line from a song, like I don't know the names of songs, but you always know the lyrics if it's made an impact.
God, no. I mean, if you ask like Tony, he was like, how can you learn pages and pages of dialogue and yet you will never get a lyric to a song right?
And so why do you think it made such an impact? Did you do that a lot?
I think I just gotten a guitar.
Oh my God. So hold on. Do you play guitar?
I mean, I haven't played in years.
Is there a guitar? I haven't seen a guitar in the